Here's where and buy. Here's where and how to buy some government property for as little as $6,000. We're talking houses that are as worth as much as $121,000. Today we're going on this video, not able to talk. However, it's live. If you're watching the replay, we're also going to be looking at property that is an opening bid of $10,000 that is worth as much as $211,000. So these are properties that you guys can go and take action on. We're going to walk you through this stuff step by step. It is going to be an absolutely awesome time. You will be able to follow along. If you're watching this live, tune in. If you're watching the replay, the best thing to do is to follow along with us. You can pause it as we go or go back and watch it again. So if you're tuning in for the first time, as you may know, or you may not know, is that this channel is dedicated to helping you, the beginner real estate investor, finally crack into real estate and get some cheap property you can actually flip. Folks who watch this channel have bought property for literally a couple $1,000s and have sold it for 50, 60, 70, sometimes more than $100,000. You can even see it in the comments. So I'm joined today by my two business partners, Mr. Corey and Josh, coming in here. Corey with the sweet shirt. How you doing, Josh?
Hello.
Mustache man. Corey, looking good. So guys, let's dive in. Let's not waste any time. Let's just go right to it. Josh is our expert on finding these properties, doing the research. So let's just get right into the nuts and bolts, Josh, and show them where they can find some of these properties that they can take action on, start buying, start flipping. I know you're hot off an auction currently, so let's keep it in the zone and get these guys into some properties so they can make some money with real estate.
All right, sweet. All right, we got my screen share pulled up here so everyone can follow along and have a look at it. Oops. So here we go. Starting at the ground, we've got Google. And this is a little known secret. In Georgia, if you go ahead and you type judicial in rem sale, GA for Georgia, that's going to bring up a couple different auctions here. You got Richmond County, you got Macon, you got something else. What we're actually going to look at is Henry County Tax Collector, Georgia. So that's right there. Now, if that's not the first one, or if that's not on your sheet, go ahead and just type like Henry County Judicial in Rem tax sale. And so what's amazing about these is that for the rest of Georgia, it's actually going to be a 1-year redemption period, but not for these. These are actually going to be super quick. They've got about 60 days to redeem. And if they don't redeem in 60 days, property's yours. So this next auction is actually Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024. And so if you're following along, this is something that you can participate in right now. And no joke, when I looked at these numbers, I was mortified. I thought, how could someone have passed on these deals before? For it to go to a judicial in rem sale, that means that it did not sell before at the previous auction. And so I couldn't believe it. There are actually deals here. This is something that everyone can participate in. So if you're interested in getting some deals, if you're interested in making some money in real estate for pennies on the dollar, give us that thumbs up, subscribe, like, because this is information that if you're not on it quickly, the moment's going to pass you by and you're going to miss out on the opportunity. So let me show you what's going on here. Let me show you what we got. If I just click the parcel number here, boom, an amount owed. So that way you can see how much they're delinquent. So for this particular property, I just got to verify that I'm not a robot. Boom. All right. So this one, it's going to be the combination of this number together. So 3.4, 3.9, 4.1. Let's go ahead and see how much it's worth, though. $211,000. Sweet
Nice.
Moses. Is that real? How is that even possible? This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is like 11, 12K back taxes for a $211,000 property, which is wild. So that's really, really, really good numbers. Let's go ahead and check out the second one. So I'm going to get rid of that. Parcel number, amount owed. So we got, this is a different one here, but maybe like close to 10. Let's look at the value on this one. Another $220,000 property, which is amazing.
Nice. Wow.
Absolutely incredible. You got 5 acres right there. So we're like batting at 10 cents on the dollar here in 2024. I mean, I would say one of the criticisms that we see often is people are saying that there's no more deals. But I mean, look at this. Look at this, right? All right, we got 4, 5, 6, more or less $121,000 mobile home. Pretty incredible. You can see that there. They're saying the building value 72.9, land value 49. So I mean, we have not yet seen one property that isn't a deal. These are all deals.
Excellent.
All right,
If
here's
you guys
another
are just
one.
joining, questions in the comments on the side, and we will get to questions here in a little bit. Back to you, Josh.
Yeah, so we're looking at about 7K more or less, $102,000. So everything we've clicked on so far is 10 cents on the dollar or less. The first few were like 5 cents on the dollar. 3, 4, 5. Whoa. Now this is pretty wild. This one's been delinquent since 2017. 44,000. Okay, so this is actually a bit more normal. That's not a deal. So of all the properties that we looked at so far, we've got one that's not a deal. Everything else has actually been a smoke show of a deal. This one, 5, 6K, 103,000. So 6 cents on the dollar. I mean, this is wild. We're not even talking 10 cents on the dollar here. We're talking 6 cents on the dollar. And remember, these previously went to an auction and they were missed. All right, here we go. 3.4K, 149. Whoa. So there was a 3.4K. Look at that.
Nice.
Look at that. Incredible.
So Josh, coming back to the example, the one for 6K worth 121 that we kicked off with, maybe we do a bit of a deep dive on that as far as walking folks through some of the views, some of the comps, so that they can kind of start to learn how to maneuver this when they go and bid for themselves. So as you guys get into this, the first step, the hardest thing is to find the properties, which is what we're walking you guys through, showcasing some of these that are available right now. But the next question is like, okay, once you find them, what do we do? Where do we go from there? And remember, for anybody who's wanting to get into this, we always give away the free book, The ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing, that walks you guys through this stuff step by step. So it's totally free. We have all the checklists and everything, which we're going to walk through here with you right now. But then if you're wondering where the directory is, you also get the National Tax Lien and Deed directory that has all of the phone numbers to all of these counties and the websites. So you can go right to them. However, if you're tuning in right now, you're following along, follow along with us, and then you can go back and watch this. If you're watching live, it's hard to pause it. But if you're rewatching it, you can follow along, pause it, and make it happen as well. So if you're just joining, ask us a question in the comments. And we're going to kind of continue now through the process for a beginner on how to get into this stuff because, just like you guys, we were beginners once, and we like to show you how to start from where you are. And especially in today's world where real estate's going through the roof, inflation, this is an amazing business for you guys to get started in. So back to you, Josh, with walking these guys through the steps of figuring out what things are worth, at maybe estimating some repairs, and we'll continue to dive in.
All right. So looking here, we've got a parcel ID. We've got a location address. You can see that they're saying that the building value is about 160K, land value 51, total assessment 211. So you can go ahead and you can click on the assessment notice. You got lots of different detail there. This is the appraised value. It's what they're saying in the current year market value is. And I actually put it right into Zillow. And it looks like I was able to get some information there. This is the correct, whoops-a-daisy. Let me go back to here. Open this up. This is the correct one. We can just look at the map right here. See, it's this almost like a triangle. And there we go. So they got it here as well. Now, 3.83 acres, and it's sold. Let's see, what was the date on that again? Yeah, 2017 for $95,000. And so what we could do is we could just come in and we can have a look and see what is land worth in the area. Now, I got to get a bit closer than this right here. So I'm going to put the address into Zillow again. It's going to bring me closer. So here we go. We've got our triangle. Yeah, it actually looks like there's a ton of stuff on that. This photo is showing this, which is pretty wild, right? That's pretty wild. So we don't know if it's still there or not. This is March 2023, but chances are that it is. And the reason that we can say that is because in 2024, they've got a building value of 160K. Now, if you went and you looked at this photo and this is what you saw, but the county had $0 under building value, then that would suggest that it was burnt down. And so that sometimes happens, right? You've got a property and you got a parcel number, you think there's a property on it. You look at Google, it shows a property, but the county has building value 0, and that would suggest it's burnt down. But since we do have a value here that you can see right there, there probably is a house on it. So we could approach this 2 different ways. So first, let's just see what is land value in the area, because we don't know what kind of shape that's in, but let's get that number. So I'm going to deselect all. I'm just going to go lots, land. Let's look at stuff that's previously sold. Whoa, 837,000. 27 acres. Let's not use that. That wouldn't translate. Now I'm trying to click. There we go. All right, 20K, 2.4 million, 45K, 100K, 40K. What's this 45K right there? That looks like it's probably not much land. 100K for 2.5 acres. 40K for 1.69 acres. 20K, 0.27 acres. What else we got? 20K for 1, 59K for 4.3, 35 for 1.8. So I mean 100K for the 2.85. That's pretty good. So you could say, okay, well, we got a couple acres here. And so I would say that this land value, the 51K, it's probably worth way more than that. Just looking at kind of what's going on in the area. So we know that the land is probably good, but let's check out this house a little bit more. Let's get this property address into a few more things. Let's just start clicking. Realtor, Trulia, Redfin. So this isn't telling us much about what's going on here. That's why we got a couple different windows open. Okay, here we go. So 2,133 square feet, 3-bed, 1-bath, again, 95K in 2017. So this thing is looking pretty big. You know, you got to do a new roof though, right off the bat for sure. So maybe you could budget like 15, 16K. You would definitely want to drive this property though. But again, I mean, if you were just to base it on the value of the lot, you would be very happy to get this for opening bid. And so in that sense, it's like you really don't got to worry about that, because if you just get it at opening bid, you're already making a killing. But just looking at some more stuff here, let's see what the houses sell for in the area. So we looked at comps real quick for pieces of land. Let's do comps for 3-bed, bath kind of properties. So putting it back in here so that we zoom in. Remember, we got a filter though that is only for land. So let's go back. Let's get it all in here. Apply. 4.3, 360, 5.3, 390, 3.2, 332, 3.3, 305, 344. So, you know, we're batting north of the 300K range. So when it says that is 211, I mean, you fix this house up, you make it nice, there's no reason you're not able to get into that 300K range. So they're saying 259, but again, 3.1 with 2,133 square feet, you'd definitely be able to pump out another bathroom or something. So, and this is crazy.
As far as crunching rehab numbers, you know, you guys can kind of calculate something like this. Josh, what would you say? Probably 50, 60 bucks a square foot. Would you budget for that thing?
Yeah, I mean, without being able to see it, it's hard to say. So let's say we could see it from the outside, or we're driving by and it looks like a total dump. You know, we're going to go 80 bucks, 90 bucks a square foot. If we think someone's living in there, we're going to go at 40, 50, 60 for sure. So yeah, those are kind of probably the two options that we're looking at.
Nice. Yeah. And remember, when you're doing this, it doesn't mean you have to do that rehab. The rehab allows you to figure out kind of what type of meat is on the bone if you're going to do a quick flip. We wouldn't necessarily recommend doing that. However, it allows you to see what can make this thing appealing to people who want to flip the property, right? So say you come in, if you got it for 6, 12, 10, or 20, generally it's better if you're just getting into it. Like if it's your first deal, to not do the rehab, flip it, and make $40,000 or $50,000 and let the next person deal with it. And then in the time that they're rehabbing it, you can take your profits and do 3 or 4 more deals and get the velocity of money going for you, instead of, diving into a rehab on your first deal, which, maybe you have experience doing rehab. So then by all means, definitely go for it and dive in. However, if you're new, the nice thing these days is we can do a lot of this stuff remotely, and you can really, it doesn't matter where you are location wise, you can actually get started in the business. So we're going to continue now. And for anybody tuning in, if you have a question, put it in the comments, please. If you like this stuff, make sure to do a thumbs up. And once again, if you're tuning in, we have these on-demand trainings, Get a Deal in 30 Days, Tax Lien and Deed Investing 101. So these were DVDs we used to sell back in the day, but now we put them online, and it's an awesome starter package for free for anybody here. And then along with the ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing, which gives you all of the checklists that we're walking through here right now, square footage, how to calculate everything. So that is below in the description. It's totally free. Just enter your name and email, and you will be off to the races. So back to you, Josh. And remember, questions, guys, we will answer them as we get close to the end here. But these are all properties that are available right now. You guys just need to take some action. And this is what we're doing as well. So yeah, let's dive in.
Yeah. So, I mean, on realtor.com, we've also got, this is a 5-bed, 3-bath, 2,500 square feet. So that's a lot more believable than a 3-1. So I'd probably bank on that versus realtor.com saying this is Redfin saying it's a 3-1. It's 5-1 makes way more sense, or 5-3, I mean. So what we're looking at here is a property that's going to the auction, right, on December 3rd. And so you got, I think I calculated it, you got like 10K in the opening bid for a $350,000 plus property, which is actually outrageous. And so if I was anywhere in the area, this is definitely a property that you'd want to drive. So I'm not sure how far you are from Georgia, but this sale is happening in a couple days next week here, December, and it's looking really good. So this is a grand slam home run. What do you guys want to do? You want to take some questions, or do you want to look at a second one here?
Let's go through. There's just a couple questions right now, so we'll do a couple questions, and then we will segue into the next one here that has some really good profit margins as well. And remember, if you guys are watching this and you're serious about it, take action, because there's a lot of counties out there. However, when we show one of these, what happens is people take action on them. We did a video that you can see it around here somewhere on literally $2 properties that were available. And what happened? Hundreds of people went to the website. Everything was scooped up. Actually, the law firm that handles it's like, guys, we got to take this site down because hundreds of people are calling us. So, this stuff tends to get a lot of traction. And that's why if you're watching this, be serious about it and take action, because if you come back, normally it's going to be gone. So that's why we say, go back to the beginning, follow along step by step, take action with it, because this stuff really works. Like, there's people who comment below. It's like, oh, I didn't think this stuff was real. And then I looked up the address and I saw somebody in Florida. It's a $500 property. It sold for $70,000. Like, those types of deals can literally change lives. And that's what we're here to do in this business. So question, Josh, what is an execution sale?
Yeah. So an execution sale might be showing up at a tax sale, but it's definitely not a tax sale. So the execution sale is just some lender or a creditor that's foreclosing on the property. And sometimes those kinds of sales or those kinds of parcels get mixed in with others. And so a great example would be Texas. You might see an execution sale within a tax sale, but it's very different because it's just the creditor foreclosing and not the county. And so it doesn't supersede everything else like the county does. And so in an execution sale, that creditor's foreclosing and nothing else is going to get wiped. So you will still find deals with execution sales, but you got to make sure that you know what's on title. For instance, let's say the execution sale has a opening bid of 5K and it's a $100,000 house. You get it for $50,000 and it's in mint shape. So you get it half price and doesn't need any work, and you think this is amazing. But then you realize that there is also a $70,000 mortgage on the property that doesn't get wiped because it was a different creditor that foreclosed on it. And so now you think you got a deal, but that's not the case. And so you always just got to double check your title information, make sure that you know everything that's there, because again, nothing else gets wiped. So you can find deals, but you just got to make sure that you know what you're getting into.
Excellent. Good stuff. Appreciate the comments, guys. We got Philip getting started, looking for his first deal. Cameron is enjoying the comment. Thank you for the sub. Very good. Let's see here. So is this Eric is saying, is this a tax lien with a redemption? So Georgia is a tax deed sale, and we're looking at in rem sales, which means these properties didn't sell at the auction. So they're actually coming back. And the nice thing with this is it's a very short redemption period, because normally Georgia is a 1 year redemption period for the property. And then with that, this shrinks it down to like less than 60 days, which is absolutely awesome to get into these types of properties. And once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, it's Dustin Hahn here, Corey Chason, Mr. Josh. We've been working together here for over 10 years. Josh has been to, hundreds of these sales, boots on the ground. So he's walking us through some of the research for you as a new person getting into this stuff. And if you have questions, put them in the comments. If you like this stuff, go ahead, thumbs up, subscribe if you like the content. Because when we make these videos, guess what happens? People go to the site and they buy them, or they go to the auction and then they're gone. So the early bird gets the worm on these as well. But luckily there's 3,300 counties and they all have auctions. And if you're wondering, we give away the directory in the description below that has the websites and contact information to all of this, along with some old school DVDs on demand that are super fun to get you started. So yeah, Josh, let's go take a look at another property here these guys can take a swing at. And as you probably know, this is one of the best ways to get into real estate and start making some money. So back to you.
All right.
Corey is the banner man.
Let's go, banners.
That's why early bird gets the worm.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever you guys want on there, I can put it up. Just a heads up.
Okay, so checking out this one here, we've got 435 Hosanna Road. This is another deal, and it looks like this is pretty wild. We got 5.1 total acres. So they're saying land value 68K. I think that's probably going to be pretty light again. And then they're saying building value 151. Let's check it out. So I just put that into Google. We do a street view or something. Yeah, so not really sure what we're looking at here. Maybe let's get over top instead. Let's go back. Right here is where I want to get to. Okay, yeah. So I mean, there's probably a house in there, but we're definitely not going to see it right from the road. So I open a whole bunch of windows again. They're saying it's a 3-bed, 1.5 bath, 798. Yeah, they're saying 3-bed, 2-bath, 798. So it's going to be pretty hard to kind of see what we're looking at here unless you were driving it. But I mean, even if you were driving it, you can see how far parked in this property is, right? You might not see it from all those trees. So this is another one where I think that, if you were just doing this remotely, we could treat it as land and have a look. So let's go ahead, grab this. I'm going to copy paste again to get real close into the property. Do the X. We're going to do the exact same thing that we did last time. Just going to go ahead, okay, so 315 next door, 32, 1376, 18K for something. Not sure what that is. Let's go to look at lots of land, click apply, zoom out. We got anything going on here? So 198 for how much? 10 acres. Okay. Anything else we got in the area? So, I mean, that's keeping it as close probably as possible. We got 100K for 12. We got 294 for 52. The thing is, this is usable. This is a usable lot, right? So let's check out this 198 real quick. Anything in the description? Yeah, so this is pretty similar. So if we've got, was it 5 acres? Yeah, we got 5. So, I mean, it's not unreasonable to then assume that this would be worth, 98K, 100K just for the land alone. And then you could just treat the house as a bonus for real. So you've got 10. So let's say you're into it for $13,000. You could say at a minimum, this is going to be worth 100K. And then, the house is just a bonus on top of that. So maybe you're hitting the 200K. This says $262,000. Now, it was bought in 2014 for 10, which is probably undervalued for sure. That would have been a private sale. Then it looks like it was transferred by a quitclaim deed in 2024. Now, what's crazy about that is when you transfer something by quitclaim deed, you're simply getting it as is. And so when they transferred it over, if they don't pay these back taxes, then it's going to go to the sale, which is actually what's happening. And so this is pretty trippy. This is pretty trippy. Yeah, they got it just in February of this year. And if those taxes don't get paid, which they haven't gotten paid, this thing is going to the sale. So that's going to be it. So here's another one. I mean, this is 10 cents on the dollar minimum, and who knows what the actual amount could be, because again, we can't see that house here, so it's best to be conservative. But this could be 250K, again 100K minimum. So that's 2 Grand Slam home runs. Still can't believe this didn't get picked up at the sale.
Nice. So Corey, you work with a lot of the students who come in to get started with this. So as you guys know, we do this channel, we do the investing, but then we also work with people. We do the coaching and mentoring for people who want help in the business. And there's always a link below. If you want to book a call with us and maybe talk some strategy, you can book a free call. We can chat with you if you're interested in some coaching, some mentoring. We help you get ready for these sales. For example, today, Josh was doing a one-on-one call with somebody who's actually coming with him to a live auction, which is super cool. So we do the mentoring, and we actually take people by the hand to these auctions, which is absolutely awesome. Corey, I'm wondering if you could maybe 2 tips as far as, stumbling blocks that the average person faces, when they watch this content and putting it together.
Yeah. So I think a big thing that people will do, and this is a general one, they'll overthink. So I don't know if it's split down the middle or where that line is, but let's just say it is. 50% of people overthink things, and 50% of people take too much action too quickly, and they just get something insane. So you kind of have to know where you land on that spectrum. A good key indicator is how the rest of your life looks like. If you're like always running into things willy-nilly and just like buying things or whatever, then you're probably going to do that with auctions. But a major thing to think about is, I'm just going to pull you off that screen there, Josh, for a sec. Oh, and that's not the one I wanted. There we go. So, is research. So parcel research. So one thing you should always be doing is parcel research. So that property that Josh just showed you, what you can do is after this call's done, go back to that parcel or go back to that video, check out that parcel number and see if you can find it on the county GIS list. And this is good because it's going to give you a lot of practice. I don't think we should do it on this call because I want you guys to practice it. It'll be good for you guys to get the practice into it. But just try to find that parcel on the county website. You can use a website, netter.public.online, or just type in Netter online in Google, and you'll get a bunch of links for each county. It's a whole state map, and then you click on the county, and it gives you all the links. And try to find that on the parcel map and see if it lines up with Google. So that's a huge thing. Just comparing those two can honestly get you a million miles ahead of the people who don't do that and end up buying a little triangle piece of land that you could use to put a playground on, or you could buy a really nice ultimate frisbee field that is just long, which would be pretty cool. I must say it'd be pretty cool, but you're probably not going to be able to sell it. So that's one. So good parcel etiquette, let's call it. And the second thing would just be getting to a tax sale. So most people will just not go to a tax sale. I don't care where you are. If it's online, go online. If you live anywhere near Texas and Georgia, you don't have any excuse because they have sales every month, and you should be going every month to check it out if you can. Now, obviously, if you have a job and you're working a 9 to 5, take a Tuesday off if you can. I know it's a hit on the pay, but just get to a sale and see how it works. Get the list beforehand, register, and just see if you can get in that room. And that's gonna, just you getting into that room is gonna put you ahead of most people. And so those would be the two sticking points that we kind of not all the sticking points, because there can be a few, but If you can handle those things, you'll be ahead of most people. So
nice. Yeah. And remember, no matter where you're tuning in from, like for example, Texas is one of our favorite places. That's actually where the live auction where we take students is going to be happening here coming up next month. But the reason we like Texas is because there's 254 counties. They do auctions the first Tuesday of the month. And the cool thing is a lot of them are online now. So no matter where you are, there really is no excuse to, that's holding you back. The only excuse is the one that's in between your ears, which is your thoughts as far as, oh, I can't do this. It's too good to be true, this and that. It's like, this system has been around for over 200 years, right? The county, will this system go away? It might go away if the government ever decides to stop collecting property taxes. So in that situation, there's probably going to be much bigger problems because it could be an asteroid that has wiped out civilization, right? So in this, it's not going away. You guys should have a sense of urgency for this. And remember, watching this and not taking action, like, obviously, it's fun to watch this, but implement, follow along with what we're doing, and actually go do it, because you get the experience, and then you're able to learn the lessons. Some of you guys might get a deal at your first auction. Some of you might go to a few, but the name of the game with this business is to always just be consistent and take action. If you want 100% predictability, then you can go to this website called Zillow and pay full market price all day long and buy as many properties consistently as you want. With this business, it's a matter of being consistent, because you might get a property at your first auction. You might have to go to 5, and then maybe at the 5th or 6th auction, you get 6 properties, right? But it truly, has the ability to get you into real estate for properties, sometimes 5-10 cents on the dollar. And then from there, you can use this to buy more, or use it as your launch pad to buy rentals or flips, which is what we've done and how we use this business. So obviously now we have the YouTube channel. We share this information. We help people get started as well. And for anybody tuning in, there's always the link to the book below. If you haven't got it, get it. It's totally free. Is the most useful resource for doing this. And that is below in the description. So we'll go here for a few more minutes, and then you guys can go unleash, go back, watch this from the beginning, and follow along. So Josh, do you have any more goodies on the screen there?
Yeah, I found something that was pretty mind-blowing.
Nice. Let's check it out.
Almost didn't want to share it. Yeah, we'll show. All right. Let's see. I got to get that screen back on the page there.
There you go.
All right. I had to do a double take on this one. This is pretty wild. So 595 South Mount Carmel Road. So I clicked it and I thought, what? Is this a mistake? Look at that. $3 million. I was like, whoa, what is this thing?
$3
Now, they're owing quite a bit in taxes. Let me show you how much they owe. Probably about $65,000. So it's no small fee. But again, county assessed $3 million. So I put it into PropStream. PropStream showing 1.2. Now, it could certainly be a lot more than that. But let me show you what we're looking at here. So this is an overview from the top. And this is it. So this thing is an actual mansion.
Oh, yeah. That's my kind of vibe.
Wow,
it's pretty wild, right? This is 10,000 square feet. So it's a 6-bed, 7.5 bath, 11 acres. Was sold in 2008 for $250K.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So this is a legit mansion. I mean, I didn't put it into let's see what the property is around in this area. Let me go ahead and put this into Zillow. Yeah, that's a huge acreage. Yeah, so I mean, Zillow's saying 2.8 million. Let's do the same thing. Let's get closer, have a look around. Yeah, I mean, it's built 2005, 2008, so it's not like it's super old. Anything selling around there? Let's click select all. So 875 for 5-bed, 6 bath. So I mean, this is like, that's half the size for 875. We have anything that's, I mean, this is not, none of these are similar. I wish we could see the stuff next door, because that's what's more similar. And this thing is huge. Yeah, 10,000 square foot house. So when they're saying that one next door is like 1.4, sorry, 1.4 million. I mean, we got a really nice property, so easily north of the 875 for sure. Yeah, probably hitting in the 2 million, but that's pretty wild. I've never seen anything like that at a judicial and REM sale before.
Wow. And the cool thing with this stuff is you can really get an opportunity to get a life-changing deal. It happens all the time. There's 3,300 of these counties, 1,500 of them tax deeds. And sure, sometimes you'll go to the sale and it might get bid up. However, you go to enough of these, you will get property and you will see people get deals that will just make you like you will never be able to look at real estate the same again. And deals like this, sure, there's a chance it gets bid up, but even if somebody gets this thing for half a market value, they're going to make a couple $100,000. So this is the type of game to play. So you can start off with the small ones and then start flipping your way up to bigger ones. Some of these places take credit cards and things like that to buy these properties, which is great. Get a 0% credit card and away you go. So back to you, Josh.
That's the best deal here for sure. So $65,000 ARV, north of 2 million. So that's pretty crazy. I can't believe this one didn't go. And that's just amazing. I mean, it would be really incredible to see what this house is like right now, because you can see that they haven't paid the taxes. Where is it again? They haven't paid the taxes for a few years now, but it'd be pretty incredible to see what this house is like. But yeah, so there's a lot of good deals here. I mean, we showcased 3 or 4 today, and I know that there's more in here. I think there's just one of these is not a good deal. So it's pretty incredible that we found, most of these that are amazing. So I definitely think that people should check this out and get in the game if you haven't yet.
Josh, can we take a look at the one just to show them an example of what is not a good deal?
Yeah. All right.
As he pulls that up, everybody, if you're liking this stuff, thumbs up, subscribe, ask us a question in the comments, helps us create new content as well. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on this stuff, because if you're watching this video later and this video, depending on the traction it gets, a lot of these properties get scooped up from just us making one video. So, it's important to take action on this stuff, but it's also just as important to learn what not to do and the mistakes. And remember, the cool thing about these auctions is it wipes out the mortgage, which is totally cool and really allows the average person to get into real estate if you don't have a lot of money, start flipping and buying these properties. However, there's people who watch this stuff, they don't educate, and then they go buy and they make a mistake. Maybe it has a mortgage on it and they screw up. So that's why it's super important to watch this content and learn and follow along. So Josh is going to show us an example here of something that might not be the best deal as well.
Yeah, so here we got this mobile home. They've got it assessed at about 44,000. So they're saying that the mobile home was worth about 19. The land value is 25. But the minimum bid is pretty high here because you've got back taxes all the way back to 2017. So it's pretty wild to me that someone's been able to, rack up back taxes since 2017. So that's a long time ago. So the combination of this, I think it's like 11,000 or something. So $11,000 off the bat for something that's 44, that's just a little bit too high, especially because, if haven't been paying since 2017, it's got to be a teardown for sure. So, I mean, you remove the value from the mobile home, and on top of that, just to get that out of there, you're going to have to pay some fees for sure for someone to move that. And I mean, if the land is just worth 25K, you're underwater. And so this is what we're used to seeing a lot of the times, and you got to sift through a lot of this to find the gold. So it's funny that this was the difference where we had to sift through the gold to find the junk. So that's pretty wild. But yeah, you would want to steer clear of that one. Just not enough value in it, and especially again because you got so much back taxes for so little value.
Yeah, and when it comes to sifting through the gold, so the property in the auction that we're showing here today, it's fairly simple. However, if you guys are wanting to get some of this super cheap stuff, like $50, $100, $500 properties, you're going to have to go through a lot of junk to often get to the gold, right? And the reason that is, you know, a common thing will be like, there's a reason it didn't sell at the sale. Yes, these properties actually didn't sell at the sale, and they're looking pretty darn good. So with that, you can do it a couple ways. You can stay up late or wake up early. We recommend learning the process for yourself. And then the nice thing is you can work with virtual assistants, you know, in the Philippines or in India, and get them to do it because the arbitrage on the US dollar is so good. So for example, $2-3 an hour, you can get somebody with a college education in the Philippines to go ahead and do all this research for you and sift through it all. And it is a really good arbitrage because while you're sleeping, they can do the research and really go through it. So that is what we recommend. And the key thing is don't skip the step, okay? Because if you don't know what you're doing and you try to get a virtual assistant to do it for you, they could be screwing it up and you'll have no idea. So you want to have like a baseline understanding of how this works. So then you can show them what to do. But it's cool. You wake up and, you know, they have the list for you ready to go. And Josh actually has a cool system where, like, Josh, if you could tell him when you're on the road how you take pictures with WhatsApp, the VA does the research. That's a super cool system that Josh has set up when he's at the live auctions.
Yeah. So got a Google, sorry, not Google, WhatsApp, got a WhatsApp chat in there. And so the virtual assistant's in there. And so, you know, I could just put the property address in, the next one that I'm going to. They can start to import the data. So like opening bid, assessed value, be pulling comps from the area. And then when I get to the property, I can just be doing a voice note, talking about what I'm seeing, looking around, talking about the property. Then they could go ahead, copy those notes, put it into a Google spreadsheet. That way it's all streamlined and systematic and it works really well. So yeah, super useful on the road. And it's like having a personal assistant with you during the auction, which is great.
And it really helps. You can be on the road, put those pictures in, they can be doing the work. And then when you get back to the hotel, or depending on if it's an online auction as well, which helps. So Josh, what was that website here for the best properties question?
Yeah, you know what? All we did is we just went judicial in Ramsale, Georgia, and that took us to Google. Couple different auctions here. Pretty sweet video with
Whoa.
yours truly. And then Henry County Tax Collector, Georgia. So that's henrycountytax.com, property for sale.
Excellent. All right. So over to some questions here. We can dive in. All right. You said they wipe out the mortgage, but then warned we might get a property with a mortgage. What do you mean by that? Okay. So when it's a tax deed sale or an in-rem sale, it wipes out the mortgage. Be careful when it's another auction, like a foreclosure, like a bank foreclosure auction or a HOA auction where they're auctioning off the property to collect the homeowner association fees. Those don't wipe out the mortgage. So most of the time at these deed sales, it wipes out the mortgage. So just be careful because at the sales, there's multiple auctions going on and multiple lists. So you want to make sure you have the right list and you want to make sure you're learning the rules of the game so that you don't make mistakes along the way. And once again, we're going to say this a million times. All of the steps are in the book here below. It is totally free. If you want some one-on-one help with this stuff, we can help you go to the sale. We do coaching and mentoring, and we're going to be doing trips where we take you by the hand to these live auctions and help you in person. We pioneered those. We got an auction calendar coming up. So all that is below in the description if you're interested. And once again, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you like this stuff. And the biggest reason these days is because we make these videos, you need to take action because depending on how many thousands of people watch them, they go scoop up all the properties. People watch it late, they miss out, and that's a sad, sad day in life. Okay, so let's check this out. What states should we search for over-the-counter in-rem? Well, obviously a place like Georgia, Texas will have some of those, but you want to go to your tax deed states to pull that off, right? So like Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, California, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Kansas, Arkansas, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, places like that, North Carolina, Virginia. And let's see what else we have. Texas, Tennessee, Georgia are all going to be places that can have these as well. Nevada could have some, Indiana, Ohio, New York. So, you know, start with what's closest to you. Okay. All right. Thanks for taking the time. You like to stay in your backyard. Western PA. Hope to learn. Yeah. So Pennsylvania has lots of good stuff. We've done lots of auctions there. The cool thing about Pennsylvania as well is you only have to put down in a lot of places like Philly 10%. So you win a bid for 10 grand, put down 1,000, you could bring in an investor or assign the bid, which is also super awesome. Let's see, how much is the mentorship? So we like to customize the mentorship based on what you need and what you want. So everybody gets custom game plans. So it's hard to, it's like quoting insurance, right? You need to know the variables and this and that. So if you guys book a call, we'd be happy to talk to you. We also show you how to do it with OPM, 0% interest, and have funding solutions for this stuff available. So like if you don't have a lot of money, but you have, decent credit over 600, we're able to help people get started as well and use OPM to get into this game with 0% interest. Let's see. You've read the book. You're a beginner. Awesome. Thank you for reading the book. We hope you liked it. Let's see here. Going to book a call. Excellent. Good stuff there. Is that Corey?
Real quick. We had an onboarding with a student yesterday, and he had a physical copy of the ABCs from like years ago.
Wow.
We shipped it out, and it was like it looked like it had been through a storm. He had read it so much. It was pretty cool. It was like a first edition ABCs. So sell that for like $20 on eBay for sure.
That's awesome. Great. So for anybody who might be new, we've been in this game a long time. This is my 21st year now since I got into Tax Liens and Deeds. Corey and Josh now are well over a decade. We've been through the storms of the business, the ups and downs in real estate, and we're still here. We're still standing. This channel now has over 3,000 videos. So obviously this is the internet. You need to be skeptical. However, there's one thing that you can't do on YouTube is fake 3,000 videos. So we've been in this game a long time, and we really try to do our best to help everybody in the business. And the channel here is to expose you to it, get you started. We provide you everything you need. But then for anybody who wants to go a little bit further, we provide the extra stuff. So that's where you can get the books, the totally free mini course. It's on demand. It's in the description below. We're doing some live auction trips that are coming up. So there's going to be one in January, one in February, where you can come join us. We can help you bid in person, which is totally awesome. They're super small groups, so they do fill up. So if you're interested in actually coming to one of these auctions, there's once again a link below where you can book a call for that as well. And, we help people get into the game, which is great. So on that note, everybody, a couple more questions coming in. Let's see. Create an LLC in Texas, waiting for a business credit card so I can start attending auctions. Okay, what should be your focus? I think your focus should be, well, first off, if you have that stuff by the first Tuesday of the month, you're in good shape. However, if you don't have it, still attend the auction. One of the big mistakes people make is they're waiting for like all 40 billion stars to align before I got to get the business credit card. I got to name my thing. I need to get the magnet for my car, or I got to move, or whatever. Don't put it off. Like the perfect time to get into this stuff literally never happens. So whatever excuse you have, there's never going to be a perfect time. The perfect time is today. The best time to get started in this was 20 years ago when things were really cheap and it was easier. However, we give you a competitive advantage when doing this sort of stuff and try to get you going. So it's time to start. Check out some of these videos. Go back to the beginning of this, watch it, follow along, pause step by step, and go to these sites. You have a couple days before these auctions come up. If you're one of the first people to get there, you have a chance at doing this sort of stuff. We might even see you there at some of these auctions. A lot of them you can do online as well. So let's go ahead, guys. Dive in, watch some other videos, grab the book. It is free in the description below. Book a call if you want some help. Watch some of the videos. There's a video on the channel that shows you how to do this for fine property for $2. Subscribe, thumbs up. We appreciate you. And we'll see you Tuesday after our session, 5 p.m. People are always asking when you go live. We're like, it depends. However, this Tuesday coming up, 5 p.m. You can log in and we will be there or be square. So nice. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you soon.
See you, everybody.
Later.